Recording in progress.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Welcome everyone to the Local Agency Formation Commission of May 21st. I request that Executive Officer Knox please provide instructions on in-person video conference protocols. Mr. Knox.
Yeah. Welcome to the May edition of Kern LAFCo, the most secure LAFCo meeting in the universe. Everyone say hi to Israel. He's out in the hallway. He's our new security person. Thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate it. At the request of Commissioner Fowler, we've hired a security firm to keep these rowdy commissioners from brawling with each other. So during tonight's meeting, we'll be addressing a multi-county annexation, move on to some policy issues, and address liability management in closed session. A couple of notes regarding how the meeting is held both in person and by video conference. For our guests who are in the room, which we do have, thank you for attending. If you are a representative from an agency or here from the general public and wish to speak on an item before the commission, we ask that you use the microphone at the podium. Allow the chair to recognize you and provide your name, any affiliation, and speak into the microphone. We are recording these proceedings and want to make sure you are heard clearly both in the room and online. For those attending by video conference, if you are from an agency or the public, your microphone is muted until the chair recognizes you and the host unmutes your microphone. There will be an opportunity to speak on specific items on the agenda. Please use the raise hand function to be recognized. The raise hand button is in different places depending on your version and the device you are using to participate. Mr. Rice is the security on the Zoom portion of the meeting. Double security here. If anyone gets disrupted, Mr. Rice has authority to remove them from Zoom. With that, I thank you, everyone, for working with us on this, and I turn it back to the chair. Oh, I did also want to mention we have some new technology tonight. Mr. Schroeder is using a Bluetooth unit with his hearing aids that allows him to hear the meeting better. So it's I think it'll be better for all of us all around. So appreciate his help on working on that. So with that, I turn it back to the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Knox. At this time, we'll do roll call. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Commissioner Ayon?
Present.
Commissioner Clark?
Here.
Commissioner Couch?
Here.
Commissioner Endicott?
Present.
Commissioner Flores?
Here.
Commissioner Fowler?
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez? Absent. Commissioner McKibben?
Present.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Here.
Roll call complete.
Thank you. Brings us to item 2, invocation. Commissioner Ayon, would you please lead us in prayer?
Thank you. You may stand or bow your head. Heavenly Father, as we gather for this meeting, we ask for your guidance and wisdom. May your light illuminate our minds as we deliberate as these matters before you. Grant us the ability to listen to each other with empathy and respect, seeking common ground and finding solutions with that benefits the whole county. May our decisions be righteous and just, reflecting on your values and serving the greater good. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to item 3, Pledge of Allegiance, and will be led by Commissioner Endicott.
Ready to begin? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving along, item 4, video conference request. Madam Clerk, is there any commissioner attending by video conference?
No.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to approval of the minutes of April 16, 2025. Is there any public comment on the minutes before we take action? Or any commissioner comments? Okay, seeing none, a call for a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Motion second. Okay, please call the vote.
Commissioner Ayon?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Couch?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Yes.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion passed.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 6, public comments. This portion of the meeting is reserved for people desiring to address the commission on any matter not on the agenda and over which the commission has jurisdiction. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record before making your presentation. Is there anyone here for public comment, Madam Clerk?
No.
No. Okay, thank you. Brings us to item 7, determination proceeding. I'm going to be combining items 7A and 8A into one item for presentation purposes by staff, but we'll be taking separate votes. 1845 Kern Tulare Water District Annexation Number 8. This is a proposal to annex approximately 22.0 acres of land consisting of 3 parcels. The purpose of the proceeding is to annex parcels that are already in production, that are already connected to district's irrigation water service infrastructure. The surrounding properties include agriculture, railroad, and vacant properties. This proposal has 100% landowner consent. The applicant has requested that notice hearing and protest hearing be waived. And the second item is 1846 Kern Tulare Water District Sphere of Influence Amendment. That's consideration of the proposed sphere of influence for the Kern Tulare Water District, including determination as required by Government Code Section 56425E, CEQA, consideration of notice of exemption as lead agency. Mr. Knox.
Thank you. Usually, Kern Tulare Water District comes to us with detachments from their boundaries. I would like to thank the district for bringing this proceeding forward. This annexation brings into the district properties that they have been serving outside the district boundaries. This cleanup is beneficial to all involved. 3 areas to consider for annexation includes Parcel A, which is in Tulare County, and Parcels B and C, which are in Kern County. There is no exchange in taxation. It's consistent with the general plan, regional transportation plan, or specific plan. There is no ag land conversion. It's consistent with commission policies and conform the assessor's parcels. It conforms to that. We have an indemnification agreement. There is a functional overlap with Kern County Water Agency, but both serve different functions within the delivery of water. The properties are currently being served by the district. Use of the properties will continue to be as is, so water usage will generally be the same. A notice of exemption was adopted by the applicant to meet CEQA requirements. Affected and overlapping agencies and districts were notified and no comments were provided. This annexation has 100% landowner consent. As such, it is eligible under Government Code Section 5662 to waive notice, hearing, and protest hearing. The process required by the Cortese-Knox-Hertzberg Act has been followed, including notices to affected agencies and any notices and publications required by law. So there's 2 votes. The first is on 1845. It is my recommendation that the commission consider the environmental document filed by the district. It is further recommended that the commission approve annexation number 8 to the Kern Tulare Water District with the requirement of notice, hearing, and protest hearing being waived and subject to conditions recommended by the executive officer.
Thank you.
That's the first.
Okay.
Do you want the second recommendation?
Go ahead.
Okay. Second is on 1846, and it is recommended that the commission consider the environmental document again prepared by the district and approve the sphere of influence amendment to Kern Tulare Water District with conditions recommended by the executive officer.
Okay, thank you. Is there any public comment on 7A? Okay, seeing none, any commissioner comments or questions?
Observation, but for those of us commissioners that are new, question for staff. I think I know the answer because you told us once. The reason Kern LAFCo is hearing this and not Tulare LAFCo is because either there's more acreage or taxation in Kern County. Which one is it? Or parcels?
It's both. It's both.
Oh,
And
assessment.
the assessment is greater in Kern County than it is in Tulare County, so we become the principal LAFCO for these proceedings. And so we work with Tulare County. We went through both the Kern County process through this assessor, auditor, elections. CAO's office and did the same thing in Tulare County. We actually now have a fee that charges additional more when we have a second county or more involved.
Oh, good.
Because it does cost us, we basically have to do the same thing twice.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, thank you.
Go through the same process twice, but doesn't get paid twice. But we have to go through it twice. So that's the answer to that question.
Just a real quick question through the chair. Sure. I've already heard this, but I just want to, as I learn and get through this process, there's no potential conflicts or synergies with other agencies or districts that need to be considered?
Correct. We notify all the districts that are adjacent or overlapping, and they have every opportunity to provide us with comments or objections, and we have received none.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing any other comments or questions?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. We have a motion?
For 1845.
Is there a motion on both, or just one?
Just one.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion second, Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Ayon,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Couch,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores.
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler.
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben.
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Okay, thank you. Now brings us to public comment for item 8A. Any public comment or commissioner comments or questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, Les Clark, to approve.
Ayon, second.
A motion second. Please call the vote.
Commissioner Ayon,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Couch,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler.
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben.
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 9, commission items. This is Kern LAFCo Strategic Plan 2025-2035 Workshop Facilitator Agreement. Mr. Knox.
Yeah, before you are two proposals for a strategic plan workshop facilitator. I have had the privilege of sitting down with both and discuss LAFCo operations in general, why the plan was written the way it is, and the need to have commissioner buy-in to whatever direction the commission decides is best. I gave Mr. Woolridge and Ms. Watson directions to create a $5,000 plan and a $10,000 plan. It's really kind of the only way I could figure out how to give them a structure of what we would be willing to go with. In your packet are their proposals. Quickly, the proposals are similar. Neither has a great understanding of LAFCo, which is not surprising. As such, it will likely come down to who you, as the commission, decides is best to lead the exercise. Mr. Woolridge has extensive experience as a board member and in group dynamics, and Ms. Watson likely has more experience running these type of workshops. I am not making a recommendation due to my long-term friendship with Mr. Woolridge. I suggest the commission pick the price point and the proposal that best suits the commission's desire. Mr. Woolridge is here in the room, and Ms. Watson is online. If either would like to say a few words and take questions, that would be great. If not, we can move on and make a decision here.
Thank you.
Commissioner, I'm open for any questions that you all may have concerning my proposal.
Thank you. Any commissioner comments or questions for Mr. Woolridge or for other vendor applicants? I don't know if she can hear us.
I do have a question.
I can hear you.
Yeah, could each of the applicants kind of verbally summarize their proposal, Reader's Digest version, and therefore we would be on the same page? I did read both. Thank you for those proposals. I do differ in the fact, even though they're similar, they're not necessarily similar. There's distinctions. And if you could maybe share like bullet points plus give examples of other strategic plans that you've done for agencies or nonprofits that might mirror what we're trying to do at LAFCo. And just to kind of give you the update, LAFCo to date has never had a strategic plan. So this would be the first. Go ahead.
Through the chair, Mr. Zaragoza, or I can go ladies first, whatever you all prefer.
Well, let's go ladies first.
Let's go ladies first. Hello,
Thank
Sue.
you.
We're friends as well, so it's okay.
Thank you. Well, thanks for having me here tonight with you all. Thanks for allowing me the opportunity to generate a proposal for you. So basically, yes, I have done many strategic plans for many agencies, including Kern Economic Development Corporation. I have done nonprofit for St. John's Lutheran Church. I've done nonprofit for Michelin Tires, obviously out of France. Strategic plan for them, sorry, as well. So big agencies, small agencies, government agencies. I worked with Kern Behavioral Health. So I'm pretty familiar with Bakersfield, and I have done a little bit of research on LAFCo, and thankfully Mr. Knox was able to give me a pretty good understanding of what all you do. So I proposed I created two proposals, as Mr. Knox suggested there. One is for a one-day workshop that's basically facilitating a conversation with you all to generate alignment ultimately for realistic 10-year, 5-year, 1-year, and then next 90-day plans, which will make it very easy for you to hold LAFCo accountable to meeting certain objectives by certain timeframes. So that's the one day. And the difference between the one day and the next one is it adds on a half a day, so there's more room for conversation and more room for argument, if you like. And it also includes a opportunity for me to build engagement and relationship with the commissioners through pre-retreat discovery and a meeting with the commissioners prior to the 1.5-day retreat. So I'm here to answer any questions. I'd love the opportunity, and I don't think I would disappoint, but I'm also happy to support from the sidelines if I'm not the chosen party. I like to help as best I can.
Again, thank you all for the opportunity to meet and present. Just like Ms. Watson, our goal is to make sure you all are directed, aligned, and committed to the process. Unlike my proposal as well, one-day seminar where we do some pre-work where I get to meet and greet each and every one of you to ask some key and some compelling questions. Before we can come up with any solutions, I have to make sure we have the right questions that are asked. Or before we prescribe medicine, we have to do the diagnosis. So that's part of the process is there. And then ongoing with the second proposal. Unfortunately, when we do a lot of these, because I've done work through school districts throughout the state of California. As you all know, I'm a sitting school member, and I work with elected officials all the time. My question is for you all, and this may be a definitive point, are you committed to the process? Because a lot of times when we do these type of, Sue and I will tell you this, when we do this type of work, people get a binder and they put it on their shelf and they sit on it and nothing takes place. Will you all be committed to working with either Sue or myself to make sure over a long term that we follow through what we say we're going to do? That would be the question that I would have for each and every one of you, because we want to deliver a product, but I'm going to need access to you, Supervisor Flores, Supervisor Couch, Mayor. Not your staff, you, in order to do this process correctly. So again, our qualifications, I've worked with school districts across the state of California. I'm a sitting school board member. It may not be at the level of LAFCo, but I do understand government, teamwork, leadership, and all of those dynamics that go in. So with that said, before you make a decision, I need you to ask yourself, do you have time for me? Are you willing to invest the resources, not just financially, but again, emotionally, as we ask some deep questions so that we can meet the objectives of your organization? That's all I have.
I would like to add one last thing. I apologize for not being there in person. I actually have visitors out from UK at the moment, and I'm not in town. So apologies for not being there. If I was in Bakersfield, I would certainly be there. But thanks anyway for having me join virtually tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. And thank you, Mr. Woolridge. Yeah. Commissioner Fowler.
I have a question for both of you. Are you familiar, have you read through our draft strategic plan?
Yeah, I can answer first. Yes, I'm familiar. Yes, it looks pretty basic. I have no problem, and I'm pretty sure that we'll enhance it. To the comment about being available after the planning process, for me, that would be an option. My strategic plan will basically be, it'll be very simple to understand and very simple for you to hold the team accountable to meeting specific objectives. I'm very outcome driven. So with or without me, obviously I'd love to hang around, but with or without me, you will have a plan that's very easy to follow and will create accountability.
Thank you.
It has been some time, Ms. Fowler. I can't give you every jot and tittle, but I did spend some time going over it with your executive director. And again, as Ms. Watson said, it's very basic, rudimentary. You guys have the answer. It's our job to pull the answers out of you. That's why we're here, to augment your plan that you all have. So to answer your question directly, I did skim through it. I didn't go through every page, but I did have some conversations with Mr. Knox. Mm-hmm.
I went through it in fairly decent detail, I think, and I think that the objective really, for me, is that you determine together what you don't want, which is as important for me as what you do want, so that you have some alignment moving forward, so that we create a plan that every one of you is willing to get behind.
Thank you.
Yeah, Commissioner Saragosa.
Thank you for those comments. They're both very enlightening. Kind of a question for both of you. I like the fact that you have an option 1 and an option 2. And if you could differentiate more on that, and if whether there's a hybrid, like an option 3, that would be good to know. In light of that, I also want your opinion on this. LAFCos are under jurisdiction to comply with the Cortez-Knox-Hirschbeck Act. That is their mission. And I'm sure staff has told you what that mission is. The big question is, how do we carry out that mission? Every LAFCO in Kern County, or every LAFCO in California, I think, is doing it a little bit different. Questions to be asked is, who's the customer? Second question is, how do we provide services that meet the expectations of the customers? Better yet, exceeds the expectations of the customer. And thirdly, is it going to be a 3-year plan, 5-year plan, or 10-year plan? My experience is when you get beyond 5 years, pretty useless after that, but that's my personal opinion. Please react to my comments and my questions. Ladies first.
Thanks. I would agree with you that beyond 5 years, you know, a strategic plan is never set in stone, so there's always an opportunity to review and amend. And again, if you were to move forward with me beyond the planning process, you know, that sometimes we can do things quicker than we think. Sometimes things drag out. Life gets in the way. Priorities change. So there is an opportunity, and I would recommend, and I can share with you my process for reviewing the plan on a quarterly basis, so that you can make those amendments as you go. Yes, there's opportunity for hybrid. The main difference between the two, as I said, was my engagement with the commissioners prior. There's always opportunity for hybrid. I do like the opportunity to get to know you. Some of you know me already and have worked with me on other strategic plans already to some or other degree. So yes, there's an opportunity for a hybrid. Did I answer everything in there? I know you had a few questions in there.
You did. That was my main concern. And one reason I said hybrid was obviously you would adjust the price point. If we did a option C that was a little bit of A and not quite as much as B, but the other question was, personally, I like face-to-face, but if the hybrid included Zoom, would that be permissible?
I can do a hybrid Zoom and face-to-face meeting. I have the technology. I do it all the time. I can give you references of people that I've done that with. So if there's somebody that can't attend, or they've got flu or COVID or whatever, we can have them absolutely participate fully in the room with the people in the room.
I think that's good to know. I'm sure technology would allow us to do that in case we do have a Zoom requirement. And then the other component or question I forgot to ask, and I think we did get that from Professor Woolridge, that he's able to start as early as June 1st. When would you be able to start, Sue?
Yeah, I can start that week too.
Thank you.
Oh, in terms of, I can start that week in terms of engagement. The earliest, yeah, I would be able to fit something in the beginning 2 weeks of June as well.
Thank you.
You all have a tough decision,
Thank you,
don't
Commissioner.
But to answer your question, Mr. Zaragoza, you did ask a question about the purpose. And again, I believe the purpose is the overarching goal of looking after the taxpayers in our local community, to making sure their dollars are spent effectively and efficiently. And that's one of the charges and goals of LAFCo. You did ask a question about a bill. I'll be honest with you, sir. I'm not quite familiar with that bill you asked. So I would have to do some research. That's just to tell you the honest truth. And like Ms. Watson again, being able to do hybrid, whatever the body wants to make happen, we can make happen. We have that flexibility. So whatever desired decision you all make this evening is perfectly all right with me. It's going to be okay one way or the other. You're going to be in good hands in one firm or the other.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
I would say in answer to your question that for me, you would be the client. Your clients would not be the client. I would be relying on you to work with me to establish what is the best thing for your client. But for me, the commission would be the client. My job is to herd cats.
Thank you, Ms.
Said
Watson.
with due respect.
Okay.
Ouch.
Well, I'm an alley cat. I'm tough. I'm tough for.
That hurt.
No, it was not designed to hurt. I just want you all on the same page, so you're all my client.
Thank you. Well, I think this is a needed exercise. I haven't been here very long, so I welcome some input from my board members, but also from you as the professionals. What from what you do know of us in your study, what do you think would best serve our organization in terms of the 91 or 5? What do you recommend for us, or is it too early to make a recommendation? And I know our board will weigh in with what we want, but from the outside looking in, what do you think would best serve our needs as a mid-sized LAFCo, as an organization that hasn't done this process in a while? At least I haven't. What do you see at first glance?
Have you ever seen that?
Chairman, I haven't asked you all enough questions yet to give you an answer to that. That's part of this process, of this vetting process. Either consultant, we don't know what we don't know until we have a conversation with you all.
Deeper conversation.
Yes.
And that will dictate maybe what plan we need.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I would say I would be more discerning at this point already and say that my 5-year is basically a javelin shot north on the direction that you want to go in, and then we would absolutely firm up the 3, 1, and 90 days. So I agree, I don't like to go beyond 5 years either, but the 5 years is, you know, where would we like to be? It's a sentence basically, or a short statement, and then the 3 and 1 we become much more directed as to where we're going.
Thank you. Any last questions before we take action?
Through the chair, what I'm hearing is you're going to revolve your offense around your players, not your players around your offense.
Yeah, I can say that strategic planning is something that I do in my sleep, and facilitating large groups is something that I do every day of my life, and getting everybody on the same page for a vision is the only way that a strategic plan can work, and I would anticipate that I would be able to do that in the 1 day or the 1.5 day time frames that we've got set.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Watson.
The final thought is for the group as well. In my experience working with folks who are nonprofits and public agencies, when they deal with a strategic plan, the deliverable is something that we should all look at and implement because it dictates how we should be doing our action planning on a yearly basis for the next 3 years or 5 years. But what I find out, and you two ladies and gentlemen can tell me, I find out that the process is as important as the end product. Would you agree?
No, not necessarily. I think the process is very important because the process is me, and I do agree with Professor Woolridge that it's about asking the right questions, but it's really listening for where we can get alignment and listening and bringing it in so that we can be very directed during the process. The deliverable is, you know, words on paper. What I'm most interested in beyond the deliverable is what outcomes do you say are your priority for the next few years. So the deliverable is just, you know, a few sheets of papers with words on. Getting to that stage, the process is very important, and the vision that we agree on together is probably what's most important.
Okay, thank you. I don't think staff was neutral. There's no heavy recommendation. Thanks for looking at both applicants and bringing back two qualified professionals. So I think we'll be well served by either.
Thank you.
And not to put Commissioner Saragosa on the spot, but since you kind of were the driver for this, do you want to kick it off?
You mean with a recommendation?
Yeah. Or discussion of both, or?
We can drop off probably. I can drop off if you be more comfortable. I want you to be comfortable and also have time to, you know.
You two are probably the best choices we have in Bakersfield, considering I have talked to other facilitators, and for the price points that you're offering, they wouldn't even talk to us. So it's, you know, we thank you for even showing up. We
Well, I'm
in person.
stretching, I have to be honest.
Yeah, so we appreciate it.
We always want to go local.
But the main point is that we you know, the organization LAFCo, Kern LAFCO, has been without a what I call a compass north plan, a strategic plan, and we tend to, I think, respond to what state legislation and procedures dictate how we should be doing our job, which is fine because I think we have to comply with law and regulations, but how we do it makes a big difference. And I think the process can help all of us here, because one thing we're going to learn, all the board members, is what is LAFCO, how does it work, and how do we want to align our vision. As a urban planner, I have a vision, but it's not my vision, it's the board's vision. And staff will be part of that co-creator plan, and they'll be responsible for implementing the majority of the action points. But once again, I think you're both qualified. This is going to be a hard decision. You put me on the spot, Jeff.
Well, we can politely ask them to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you for showing up.
Yeah, sure. Just so I have a commission willing to throw it out there more. And thank you, Sue.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll
Do you have any further questions? I think
Good point.
Yeah, we'll keep deliberating.
All we got to do is just go online. No, it's not. This is public.
Ms. Watson, we can put you in a room and do it that way and bring you back after they made a decision, or you can drop off and I'll let you know tomorrow what the decision is.
Either way, if you've got any more questions, I can be in a room and hang out for a minute.
Okay, let's do that.
Sure.
Okay.
because I didn't set it up originally, so we didn't have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
apparently we don't have a room to put her in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't set it up to have it on this one.
I can leave and you can let me know tomorrow. You have my telephone number. If you have any questions, you can just give me a call.
Okay,
Okay,
that
thank
works.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your
You
evening.
too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Blair, since we have two ostensibly very qualified people, what's the price difference between the two?
So what I did was I asked them both to put together a $5,000 proposal and a $10,000 proposal. So that's the price points that we have.
So they're equal?
Yes.
Okay.
What can we get for?
So I guess my questions for my fellow commissioners would be,
One-
do we have a preference before we pick someone on the $5,000 plan or the $10,000 plan?
How about this my recommendation, if they're both qualified and you're both happy with them, why don't we decide to give one the 5,000 one and the other one 10,000?
Well, let
5
me,
and 5, yeah.
if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I did. I looked at the proposals, which I thought were good. There is a difference. I think by a slight margin, the one by Sue is slightly more, provides a different scope of services, maybe a little bit more. It could be that Professor Woolridge will do the same, but it's not on paper. And so Sue's paper or proposal has a little more information. And she's kind of hit all the highlights of what we're looking for in her proposal. And either one, $5,000 or $10,000. And I think with hybrid would be maybe something in between. It would cover just about everything. But she did kind of go over everything, and she had a very interesting framework. And ideally, she would cover the things that we need to do. And they both would as well. But once again, I just went off with all the paper that was submitted. And she had a little bit more deliberation on her scope of services. But I'm sure Keith would do as well. But if I had to just make one recommendation, I would probably go with Sue, but that's my own personal opinion. So I can make the recommendation, assuming there's a second, but I want to have discussion. It's going to be a board discussion.
More discussion? Commissioner Endicott?
Yeah, so reading over Mr. Woolridge, his approach, I thought his was a lot better. Sorry to.
No, that's okay. No, it's good.
But
Discussion.
Yeah.
Discussion.
Because while the other one was just a full day session or the potential day and a half session, I don't know. Having a background in running surveys and the battery of questions that you get, you can pull a lot of information from the surveys, which I assume he'll employ. And so with that, we're probably more likely to get at our actual interests or our direction a little bit better than what we would do in an open session talking about our interests. So it's an easier way to get to the solution than sitting around and talking it out. I think you get to it a little bit more direct. That's just my take.
Go around. Just
No, I already gave my recommendation.
Okay. That's the Solomon approach is a very, very good approach.
Thank you.
Gary, if you have everything, you don't have to. If you have to.
Well, I tend to go with Travis. I felt the same way.
Okay, thank you. Both are very smart, very capable. I did go through an exercise at Kern EDC with Sue. That was 10, 15 years ago. So I was impressed. I'm also equally impressed with Mr. Woolridge. And what I think there's a distinction for me in the sense that Mr. Woolridge is sat behind the dais. He is elected official. And so I think he brings a different lens of governance, of board dynamics. He understands the community very well, but I'm kind of leaning towards Keith. But either are capable. Because Keith has a unique vantage point that we all share, having run meetings at Panama Buena Vista School District and it's an additional lens that he can identify with.
Well, I was impressed with both of them, and the written presentation I didn't bring with me, but like Vince, I like the meat of Sue's. Although for me to have a day and a half with meals and all of that, I know all of you are busy. Even though I'm old, I'm busy, and I don't know that that's necessary for this. The one thing about her first plan is that it would not acknowledge and honor our executive officer like her second plan. That kind of tickled me. So whoever we choose, I think we do need to honor him. I think he'll expect that, but I would be satisfied with either. I love her accent, however.
Commissioner Couch, I didn't mean to skip over you. If you had anything to say, you're good? Okay.
I'm good.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes, sir. Listening to her accent, I thought she was from McKittrick, California. I was shocked when she said UK, teasing. I'm a coach. I like, Sue's certainly great. I've heard a lot of things about her. I haven't had the pleasure of working with her. I know that she seems like she's really got it on the ball. I like Keith's approach. I felt the connection of that being a coach, but more importantly, what I heard through the language was cost-benefit analysis, and I think that's super important. I think a SWOT analysis is important, but I think a cost-benefit analysis is important too, understanding that we have a fiduciary duty to the taxpayer, and that is something I know with Keith being on this side of the table, he understands greatly. And I think that for me, I don't have a recommendation, but I'm going to listen more if there is more debate on what you all are looking at. But right now, I'm leaning towards Keith.
Yeah, Commissioner Couch.
Have you guys ever done the disc that Keith has in his proposal?
We have not.
It's an interesting exercise to go through. It would be good for you guys to do it. I don't think she included it in hers, right?
She did not.
So I'll make a motion that we approve a contract with, is his firm Five Pillars?
Correct.
At the $10,000 level.
I second. I think that type of assessment and what we can learn about ourselves through the path forward is probably what she wants to get at in the full day session. But I do think that there are multiple tools that we can use with surveys or assessments that get at that in an easier way. So I second.
Okay. No, I mean, tabletop approach is very effective. And in all honesty, to be honest, I will be available, not my staff. I want to be proactive and be a part of this. But a day-long, 2-day-long commitment, if we can cover that in a different way, would be beneficial to me with the same value.
I'm concerned that,
not to cut corners, but,
right.
you know.
I'm concerned that the board would benefit more. I'm concerned about time too. Matter of fact, we're all busy.
There's too much time. Could that actually backfire.
Yeah.
I've been at retreats where I actually get soured and thought, this is ridiculous.
And I believe surveys and assessments are good. My only concern would be, and maybe this is a condition to put on your proposal, is that Keith would need to put together at least a 2 or 3 hour board face-to-face session to kind of get a group dynamic as well as an individual dynamic. Without that, I don't see it working, to tell you the truth.
That's very fair.
So he does.
Very fair.
He does have that in both of his options. The first is just a group recap session, and at that point we can put a time on it. And then the $10,000 is the comprehensive group recap session. I don't know what the difference is between comprehensive and.
I saw that, but when he uses the word recap, means it's a done deal. Here we're going to recap. No. It's a done deal after we had the group dynamic session, and then we tweak it. That's my concern, because he might learn something, or we might learn something in a group dynamic session. If he could tweak that, I'd be great, because that's my only concern, is that you need to have a give and take in a group session, so we all can hear opinions. I don't want to read somebody's opinion and say so-and-so said this and so, that's not, I want to hear it live. And if it's only 1 or 2 or 3 hour format, that'd be great.
Sure. No, I think, both are important.
And then you can come back and finalize everything based on what happened, yeah.
What I read into this was when it said in the group recap, it was presenting key findings, themes, and opportunities for refinement. So I think what I read was that's where we give our feedback and it's refined and we say, no, you got that one wrong,
Yeah.
or,
Okay.
but that's the way I read it. That may not be what he meant.
He's not here, so we can ask him.
Well, I mean, then, we can direct and put input. We can direct, we can guide that.
So let me modify the motion, that it's the same motion, but if he's willing, that the group recap would include more of a give and take with the board and the staff on the findings and the.
It'll probably cost me a lunch with him, but yeah, I think we could work that out.
Okay.
It has to be under $25, Keith.
Well, thank you.
No, I'm paying, so.
Yeah, but he's a public official.
No, very good input from everyone. Thank you. So we have first and a second. I think we'll call the vote.
Commissioner Ione,
Yes.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Couch,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Can you repeat the motion, because there was a condition, just to see that we're on the same page?
The motion was that Mr. Woolridge would be,
The condition was made by David Couch.
and the condition is to add a group recap with a group dynamic.
Give and take.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Good. Good.
Let's refine that a little bit, just to make sure. The recap session should be more of a interactive give and take, and not just a review of what's been written.
Don't use the term recap.
Yeah,
I think.
let's change that.
Good. Okay, thank you. Brings us to now item 10, general business, approval of monthly expense list, 25-03.
He left.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner Ione,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Couch,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Okay, thank you. Now we're under item 10B, expense authorization above executive officer limit. Mr. Knox.
Yeah, the commission has a $5,000 limit on how much the executive officer can spend without prior authorization. I am requesting permission to purchase 3 computers to replace outdated machines and comply with Windows 11 requirements at a cost of $10,811.37. The big ticket item here is a laptop that will be capable of running ArcGIS Pro, the program that Mr. Rice is migrating to with the end of ArcGIS Desktop, no longer available to him. The specs that are required are quite extensive for that computer, so it's very expensive. It's my recommendation to approve authorization for the purchase of 2 desktops and a laptop computer exceeding the executive officer's limit.
Thank you. Any public comment on item 10B? Seeing none, any commissioner comments or questions? Commissioner Fowler.
I'm just interested that you're going to purchase Dells.
Correct.
Had you looked into other possible systems or?
These were the recommendations by our IT provider,
Okay,
so that's what we went with.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Entertain a motion.
Endicott motion.
Fowler, second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner Ione,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Couch,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion passed.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to an informational item, 10C, fee schedule, addition of deposit required. Mr. Knox.
Last month, this commission approved a new fee schedule with a request to create a deposit for each proceeding. I want to share our efforts before the fee schedule goes live on July 1st, which is the beginning of our fiscal year. The fee schedule is similar to the schedule used by the Board of Equalization on their process. When a proceeding is approved and a boundary is created or modified, we send the results to the Board of Equalization and they go through their own process. BOE requires a payment based on number of acres and the number of separate areas within the proceeding. Our fee schedule uses the same template. We found it was something that our constituents already are familiar with and won't cause a disruption in the process. And this is informational.
Okay, you can proceed to state ledge update.
A ledge update. The state legislature is at it again, of course. There are 3 bills that are specifically affecting LAFCo. One requires us to place more information on our website regarding our application process and other documents. We are already working towards that goal, so it's not a big deal. The second bill requires LAFCo to name a successor agency when a private cemetery is abandoned. While this is a noble idea, the bill creates more problems than it solves. The bill does not specify the process for picking a successor agency, which means that we can create our own process. I'm aware of at least 2 private cemeteries in Kern County that have been struggling, and so if they have the opportunity, I think they would walk away and make us go through this process, so that makes it difficult. The way the bill is written now, we can name, as LAFCo, we can name any local agency as a successor. I was in Sacramento the last 3 days and found out last night there's going to be amendments that the only successor can be another cemetery district. My idea was I was going to give it to the local school district to take care of. Hey, they don't pay an assessment to us. Special districts and cities and the county do. But they're going to take that away from me, so we're going to have to keep working on that bill. The third bill requires municipal wastewater agencies to provide LAFCo a copy of any new or revised agreement. So if KSA has a new agreement, they have to send it to us. We do this for other agencies such as municipal water companies. So this is not a huge issue for us. And again, this was informational.
Thank you. Anything on municipal services review?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you bring up those? Yes, thank you. Last month, the Commission approved hiring additional staff to conduct municipal service reviews. As part of the multi-year process, there needs to be a decision on which agencies will be picked and when. While I'm not asking for a decision today, I want to show you that types of groupings that I anticipate will be the most effective. And I went with a regional approach. So Group A has, the greater Tehachapi area. Group B is kind of Bakersfield, Lamont, Shafter. Group C, you got Ridgecrest, Inyo, Kern, Rand Community Waters District. So you can see that there's some symmetry to those. I will talk more about who goes first when we get into closed session, but there's this is kind of the general idea of where I'm going to go with this. I plan to. I will bring it back to the commission for your approval. I'm not going to just, okay, we're going to do what I want to do. I want you to be involved with the process. So that's the end on that. Unless you have questions. The chair stepped aside, so I will move on to website biographies and pictures.
Eric's coming back. I was going to sit in as vice chair, but no, I like the fact that it's based on geography, the grouping. That's a good idea.
Thank you.
He's back.
We're moving towards website biographies and pictures.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for all your input into the pictures and bios. We want to provide you with one last look with all of them together before including this information on the website. And once it's on the website, it's part of your permanent record. So, yes, want to make sure you're aware of.
Looks good. Looks good.
Of that.
Thank you. And then executive officer miscellaneous items.
Yes, I returned this afternoon from Sacramento, where I attended the California Special District Association Legislative Days. It's a requirement of serving on the CSDA Legislative Council Committee. I spend some time socializing with special districts, learning a bit about what's happening in the legislature this session, and then go and talk to legislators individually or their staff. In this case, with a number of bills that CSDA deems most important. And Commissioner Clark actually joined me in those efforts. So that was fun to do that with him. That's not the only trade association news. As I mentioned recently, several Southern California LAFCos have left LAFCo and want to start their own group. We were asked if Kern LAFCo wanted to join and send us a copy of their agreement. It took about 15 minutes for me to rip through it and came up with several questions, concerns, and suggestions. I sent it to the group, and the response I received was, "You've spent more time thinking about this than we have." And it was only 15 minutes, which is scary. In the proposal, they have each county paying the same price, $10,000 per year, which is one of the issues we had for when we left LAFCo to begin with. We are 10% the size of Los Angeles, and we would be paying the same amount. Meanwhile, LAFCo is being managed by the executive officer of the Sacramento LAFCo after the executive director quit. They have some help from Pamela Miller, who is the former LAFCo executive director, who is on a contract that's trying to right the ship. They appear to be addressing one of my concerns with the board of directors. They are attempting to reorganize the board, and that will take some time. They have not indicated they are willing to take a look at the due structure yet, but maybe that will be the next step after reorganizing the board. So it makes sense that they would do that. In the budget we passed last month, there was $5,000 in there towards trades organizations. And I recommend that we actively watch how this plays out for a while between the two groups. And if we want to revisit this later in the year, we have that opportunity. I have more.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes.
Did you just come back right now from Sacramento?
Yes.
Wow.
Drove straight here. So,
Was
long
it
day.
Was it 5 hours?
No, it was about 4.5.
4.5, okay.
Yeah. Not bad. Next topic is County Auditor Net. When I first went to work for the county, for a county supervisor in 2001, I was introduced to an antiquated accounting program called Auditor Net. When I came to LAFCo in 2016, I was introduced to the county's accounting program, the same Auditor Net that was antiquated 17 years before. And supervisors know what I'm talking about. The county is now switching over to a new program, finally. For the time being, they are not letting us or any other agency or special district use the new program while they're working out the kinks. If we need to transfer money or obtain a report, we will have to either fax them, hand mail them, or hand deliver our request. Email is not acceptable. We don't have a fax machine anymore. We got rid of it 8 years ago. So we may be walking them down there. While this change is long overdue, their methods of operations don't quite inspire confidence that everything was going to go smoothly, especially when we were not contacted by the auditor's office about the change. Ms. Menchaca learned about it from her cousin or sister-in-law. Her sister-in-law. That's how we found out. You might remember that a decision was made to move our reserve funds from Wells Fargo to the county, where we have a separate account, where it's eligible to accumulate interest. I was planning to move that money on July 1st at the start of the fiscal year, but I suggest we hold off in case we can't get our money transferred or have some other issue with the new accounting system. Once we know that the system is operational and reliable, we can close the Wells Fargo account and move the funds over, just to be safe. Lamont Stormwater District. The grand jury wrote a report recently outlining the deficiencies of the Lamont Stormwater District. They are too long to mention them at this point. Currently, they do not have enough board members to reach a quorum, so they are not operational. The grand jury has requested that both LAFCo and the county respond as to how this will be addressed. Last week, Channel 23 KERO ran a story about the issue with the district. They asked me to come into the studio for an interview, which I declined, but provided this statement. The Kern Local Agency Formation Commission has received a request from the grand jury regarding the April 8th findings and recommendations on Lamont Stormwater District. Discussions between the County of Kern and Kern LAFCo have been ongoing to determine the best way to respond and, more importantly, to develop a plan to serve the Lamont area. As of now, a definitive route forward has not been established. As the executive officer, I am hopeful that a clear path will be formulated and shared with the grand jury before the July 8th response deadline. Of course, KERO butchered my statement. Yeah, they did. It's very frustrating. And I gave it to them in writing, and they still did. So next month, I will provide the commission a copy of our response letter to review before sending it to the grand jury. And that is the end of my executive officer notes.
Thank you. Very comprehensive. Appreciate that. That brings us to item 11, closed session.
Can I?
Oh, yes, sir.
Can I comment on some of this?
Absolutely, yeah,
Okay.
Sure.
Trying to remember all your comments here, quite a bit. I'm not sure if you said this just in general business, but when do you plan to initiate recruitment for the new person, either part-time or full-time? Is that in the workings?
It is. I've been thinking that through. We're going to have a public, because we're a government agency, we have to do it publicly. I have been looking around at folks. So I have two ideas, and one of them is, and what I proposed to you was a full-time position with benefits and the whole package. That would be great. Another option would be to find maybe two retired, a city manager or executive officer of a special district that want to work part-time for us, and because they have a lot of knowledge and experience, they would know where to look for both the good and the bad with districts, and so that's a different option that we could do under the same budget.
Let's not get too detailed, because that's not on the agenda.
Okay.
You can answer the question when you.
Yes. So the plan is within here at the end of May, beginning of June, I will start advertising those positions, and I don't have a specific time to have it done, but if we found the right person before July 1st, that would be great.
Just to confirm, there'll be permanent or contract positions? When I say permanent, benefits, insurance, the whole bit?
If we go the route of a full-time position, yes, they will have benefits and be
Which
full-time.
will require public recruitment, so you
Yes.
can get applicants from throughout California. This was not on your informational item, but I think we should always have this question posed, or allow us to have this question posed. What is the status on the lease at your current office? Is it going to be extended? Are you going to be homeless? What's going on?
Yes.
Which I believe is end of June or first part of July?
It actually goes into next, so we signed a year lease, but after 6 months, we can opt out. After 4 months, we can opt out. So there's that piece. The other piece is Kern Cog just recently named the new executive director, and he won't, I don't believe, take office for another month.
Yeah, but I have an update on that.
You do?
If we want to reach out to him right now, we can do that.
Okay. So he's not in place yet.
Okay.
So okay.
Assuming there would be a relocation or in lieu of an extension, Would the relocation be like midsummer or early fall?
The other option was the county building out on Bell Terrace.
Okay.
I have not reached out to them for a while to see how much progress they have on the probation department moving out and making that available to us.
The reason I'm asking is that as I drive downtown, I see a lot of vacancies, retail, commercial spaces. I don't know what the price is per square foot. I know right now at the chamber, they have extra facilities. Is it feasible to look at downtown for a possible relocation, if there is one? You know, you may just stay where you're at, but the reason being you'd be centrally located, it'd be kind of nice, but just personal opinion, recommendation, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, Commissioner Fowler.
Question for you, Blair. Which are the LAFCos that are creating the anti-Cal LAFCo group?
Okay. It's San Diego, Orange, San Bernardino, Los Angeles, and I don't remember, it's either Riverside or Imperial. It's Imperial? And Riverside is not part of the group.
Okay.
They were not asked.
Okay.
There's
Thank you.
there's some friction
Conflict,
there at this time, so.
Okay. Thank you.
And there were several other groups in Northern California that have taken this item to their commission, and I don't, of whether they want to stay in or not, and I don't know how I have not reached out to see who's done what yet.
Okay.
Up north.
Be interested
But
to know
Southern
that.
California ones are definitely creating their own group.
I could give you a quick update from the conference if you want.
Okay.
I haven't had a
Yes.
chance to talk to you.
That would be nice, thank you.
Bud went to the Cal LAFCo workshop.
Yeah, so I did attend a workshop down in Temecula, and the last day we did speak on this. Of course, it was the talk everyone was talking about. The Cal LAFCo is actually coming back and looking at it. They want to revamp the whole board and everything and see how everyone's looking there. So there is an opportunity for Cal LAFCo to come back and do this. From what I have talked with Southern California, I'm not sure they're interested. So it may go ahead and move forward. But right now, it's all up in the air on the Northern California side.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Knox, I appreciate you monitoring all the LAFCO politics for the statewide organization as well as the regional. And let's just monitor and see how it plays out, and we'll make a decision when the time's right. My concern is that our commissioners just have professional access, professional development in the interim, which I understand that they do have that access if they want to attend still, irrespective of our actual membership.
Yeah, you can attend the conference. It costs us more, but then again, it costs us.
Costs us less because we're not
It
paying
costs us
10 grand.
less because we're
Okay.
not paying that,
Okay,
yes.
so we have a nice interim sweet spot, so, okay. All right, thank you. There's no further questions. I'll go to closed session now. Okay. So this is the only room available, I have to read a statement. This is the only room available to hold closed session with Commissioner online. At this time, we ask everyone who is not on the commission to exit the room. For those online, we can place you in the virtual waiting room, except for tonight, I think we have that. Until closed session is finished. If anyone has called in, there is not an opportunity to place you on hold. We will have to say goodbye for right now. We will reopen the room and bring back everyone from the virtual waiting room after the closed session is complete and announce any results as required. Thank you.
So the only one on there is Jose.
Okay, reconvening now into open session. Mr. Schroeder, is there anything to report out of closed session?
No, there was no reportable action.
Okay, thank you, sir. That brings us to item 13, adjournment. If there's no further business to discuss, the next meeting will be held June 18th, Wednesday, 2025, and we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.